same time, right? And that was probably, we met probably like in 2010. Yeah, 2010, 2011, right? We were both new. But one thing about him, this guy, he was from New York, I was from New Jersey, but like he would get to it and he would close deals. And I never told him, but he always inspired me. Like, yo, he's doing it, I can do it. And I had that relationship since 2012. We done business. One time, a seller tried, some guy from Raleigh brought me one of his deals. And I'm like, nah, it's my man Corey deal, we can't do that. You know, we straightened it out, but really good dude.
Let's give it up for Corey!
My name is Corey Stuker. I own Payroll, and a lot of you don't know me. But again, I spent many years in corporate payroll. Then a couple years ago, I bought Payroll, Paylines, and that's what I do now. We have several hundred clients across the country. A lot of them are lawyers, doctors, landscapers, all the way down to most recently a lot of real estate people. And that's why I think it's relevant for everyone here, because I'm an investor as well, right? So I can give you tips that I see with other clients I have. I work with wholesalers, I work with builders, rehabbers, you name it, in doing their payroll for them. So probably no one has heard someone talk about payroll, right? And so one of the questions that I wanted to ask is, why when we go to these events do we never hear someone talk about payroll, right? Because statistically, payroll is one of the top expenses for a business. So it's very relevant, right? And although it's a tool, it's not necessarily going to make you money. But when you listen to all these speakers, they're going to give you ideas how to make money. You can then use payroll to lower the taxable income and pay less taxes, and that what we all want, right? So what I want to do tonight is give you just a couple tips and things that I help my clients with, that you guide, you've probably seen, that are relevant. And if you have any questions from there, we can go from there. So I put this on every desk out there, or on table, excuse me. And if you want to get this or connect with me, there's a QR code at the bottom. You can simply scan it. It's going to have my information, and you can connect with me there. But the first one is becoming bankable, right? And this is one of the biggest things I talk to a lot of my clients. A lot of people get advice, recommendations when they have a W job and they want to go out and do it on their own. A lot of people say, well, get 6 months of reserves or a year reserves and then quit your job. Now, I think that's a terrible piece of advice. And the reason that I do is because the minute you quit your job, if you don't have, rentals or own half of, the United States, you immediately become unbankable, right? So there was mortgage broker here, there's, maybe there's bankers in here, and mortgage broker or bankers want to see verifiable income. And that is tax returns that are profitable, right? You can't have a tax return that says, I made $10,000. You need one that's going to have enough money, or a W-2. Well, that is what we do, right? That is what payroll company does. So it gives you a W-2. So then when you go and you want to, apply for a mortgage or credit lines or whatever, you have a W-2. And a lot of my recent clients are, again, LLCs, little S-corps, and you put yourself on payroll, and then immediately now you become bankable, right? So there's a huge advantage there to growing your business, adding more rentals, getting the credit lines you need to grow your business. The second one is PPP. Everyone has heard of this. Where did you go to, anybody that got the PPP, where did you go to get the reports, right? You went to your payroll company, right? So you got the reports from your payroll company, then you went to the bank to actually get the money. So again, that's a relevant point, because if you didn't have payroll, well, you definitely didn't get any PPP, or you created fake ones, and you better watch out. The other thing too, if you had employees through COVID, and you haven't heard of ERC, it stands for Employee Retention Credit, definitely connect with me. It's bigger than PPP. There's more money out there for you than PPP. So connect with me on that. The third one is the April 15 tax bill. I work with tons of accountants. Every year, this time of year, we all pay taxes, right? And what does everybody do? They run to their account and they try to find everything you could do, whether it's buying a car or whatever it is, to lower your taxable income, because nobody wants to pay. So why not plan, right? Including payroll, using the tools that are out there. So when you're coming, March, February, March, you're not hurrying around to try to figure out how you can lower that, right? Payroll is a great way to lower that taxable income. Fourth one is health insurance, 401k, IRAs, these guys here. All that stuff can be done through payroll. The reason that it's a big advantage to go through payroll is it's pre-tax, not post-tax, right? So there's a lot of tax savings. This is all things I advise my clients on. When you do a pre-tax, your taxable income that you're actually getting taxed on goes down, right? So again, you're lowering your taxable income, which again, is what we're all looking for. And the last one, which this past year I had a lot of clients come to me on it, is putting their kids on payroll. And a lot of business owners don't know that you can actually do that. And it is a huge thing. You know, a lot of people, want houses, right? Like I have houses I want to give to my kids, right? For that generational wealth, give my kids. A lot of people, again, don't know that you can put your kids on payroll. And what's better than putting your kids on payroll? They only pay FICA, so they don't pay federal, they don't pay state. So what's better than, giving them anything but cash, right? You save them an account, you give them cash, and what's better than that, right? Again, I want to go through this real quick. I wanted to end with this though, right? Is a lot of people, talk about, the millionaires and even billionaires and how they pay the little amount of taxes that they pay, right? Sometimes you see they pay almost nothing. You're like, how do they do that? Well, a lot of these people get tax breaks and all that, so I'm not taking away any of that. But one thing that they do is they work with their CPAs, they work with their tax advisors, they work with all these different people and do the different tools that are out there, including payroll, to lower their taxable income, right? Now you need income to get the mortgages and all that, but obviously the lower amount of taxes that the lower your taxable income, the lower tax you're gonna pay. So in my eyes, it all comes back to what you pay yourself, because if you're spending, say, $100,000 on marketing, but you're making $50,000, you're doing something backwards, right? You want to spend $50,000 and make $200,000, but then you want to lower that money or lower that amount so you don't pay a ton of taxes. So I hope everybody got something out of that. Again, I think payroll is extremely important. Again, I've worked with a lot of, there's some of my clients here. And again, because I'm an investor, I think I can directly relate on some of the things that I'm seeing. And again, help everybody out there. So any question or anything, let me know. And I appreciate everybody, Nasser, putting this event together.
What about setting up like an S corporation to separate your dividend and your payroll? So his question was, what about setting up an S corp to separate your dividends from your corporation, from your payroll?
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about.
It's something like that. What's that? It's
A lot of my new clients are S corps, and you're tax economics, they're tax agents, it's like a tax agent, basically, right? So a lot of the new clients are S corps, and there's, that's where the CPA, right? So I work with a lot of CPAs where I talk with them, right? Because each CPA for each client is going to have a different way and thing that they're trying to accomplish, right? So that's kind of like an off question. I'd probably talk to you, offline, because it depends on where your CPA is trying to go. Then I come in from the payroll side, because obviously S corp, you're trying to drain it. So that's where I'd work with you and your accountant and figure out, how I fit in and how I can help